This episode of Fine Scale Modeler's New Product Rundown features Bandai's beautiful B-Wing, Zvezda's smashing SU-100, and Eduard's handsome Bf 109G-10.
New Product Rundown brought to you by HobbyZone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard-to-find hobby tools, and aftermarket modeling needs. And by CultTVMan's Hobby Shop, the place to go to for science fiction and fantasy kits, details, masks, decals, and more.
Welcome to New Product Rundown, the twice-monthly show where Fine Scale Modeler reveals the innards of some of the latest kits. I'm Aaron Skinner.
And I am, of course, Elizabeth Nash. We've got some cool stuff to look at this time, including Bandai's 1/72nd scale B-Wing, as seen in the last of the original Star Wars films, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and for fans like me, this is a really welcome release. This is the last of the major ships from the original trilogy to be released by Bandai.
This is the special edition of the kit, first seen at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, so it has a few bits not included in the basic version, which should be released soon.
The surface detail on the body parts is as good as it gets, with fine recessed panel lines, slightly raised sections, and crisp details.
As with all Bandai kits, the parts are molded in color, permitting the kit to be built without painting and still produce a good replica. Most of the body and wings are molded in an almost white gray. The deployable S-foils are movable through the use of pins and molded hinges.
Just as in the movie, the craft can rotate around the cockpit, which comprises the front pilot section and a multi-part rear.
The cockpit itself has a dark gray seat molded with the back wall and control consoles that sit atop the upper weapons array. A pilot is included. The one in the special edition kit looks to be human, as opposed to the Sulistan at the controls of the regular kit.
The other difference in the plastic parts between the special edition and the regular kit are a few structural details in light gray and dark gray. I assume, and my geekiness is embarrassed that I don't know this, that the special edition parts account for differences between filming miniatures. If someone out there has definitive information, please let us know in the comments.
The central engine intake has the external section molded in the body color, with separate splitters molded in medium gray.
The same color is used for the heavy weapon pod at the foot of the main body.
The weapons, plumbing, and the internal parts of the engine section are molded in dark gray plastic.
The light gray engine bells slip over a clear part. The limited edition kit includes a small lighting unit to illuminate the engines.
Other clear parts include the optional canopy. You can choose to install the frame without the clear, and a multi-position stand.
The kit provides both stickers and water slide decals to mark the ship, including stencils and cockpit controls.
And, if you like that sort of thing, 2 clear red laser bolts are also supplied.
That's a terrific looking kit that I've been looking forward to. Now I can't wait to get started on it.
Next, from Zvezda, we have a new tool 1/35th scale SU-100.
Mounting a powerful 100mm gun in a casemate atop a T-34 chassis, the Soviet tank destroyer entered production in fall 1944.
More than 2,300 were built during the war, and production continued until the 1950s in Czechoslovakia.
They served for decades in Soviet bloc armies, and there are even reports of them being employed in Yemen as recently as 2015 and 2016, if you can believe that.
Molded in Army Man green plastic, Zvezda's SU-100 replaces a kit that Zvezda had in its catalog since the early 1990s.
The lower hull comprises a belly plate with rivet and welds as well as hatches, and separate side panels with integral final drive housings. Molded in halves, the separate road wheel arms attached to springs mounted inside the hull.
The road wheels are the later dish style with solid tires. The hubs are separate. The drive sprockets and idlers have sharply molded ribs and hubs.
Link and length tracks finish the running gear. As an interesting touch, you join sections of each track sprue to form a jig to build the upper runs.
The upper hull consists of a large piece that has the top and side panels of the casemate and engine deck and includes the fenders.
The back of the casemate, hull rear with round engine hatch, and glasses plate attached to the main piece. The last includes the fixed part of the gun mount and the opening for the driver's hatch.
The large engine intake screen cover is a separate part with a finely molded frame. Flexible vinyl mesh is provided to fill the intake.
All of the separate hatches have good hinge detail, so they should be posable. But only the driver's has detail inside, and there's nothing to see inside the vehicle.
The main gun is a single part with a separate muzzle. The gun mounts to a heavy mantlet with internal parts that should leave it movable.
Ventilator covers, commander's cupola, 2-part fuel tanks, smoke generators, stowed grousers, tools, stowage boxes, and other fixtures round out the parts.
A small clear sprue provides a light lens and periscopes.
Decals and color diagrams mark 2 overall green Red Army SU-100s from early 1945.
This looks to be a pretty straightforward build of an important vehicle.
Finally, let's take a quick look at the latest 148 scale Messerschmitt from Eduard, the Bf 109G-10.
Sometimes referred to as a bastard aircraft, the G10 mated the more powerful DB605D2 engine with the G6 airframe.
This kept production levels of the fighter up while the K variant was being developed.
Accommodating the new power plant required changes to the forward fuselage.
Changes reflected in the new fuselage halves supplied in the kit. Note the streamlined bulges forward of the cockpit opening in place of the earlier version's bumps.
Also new for the G10 are the upper cowl to match the profile, deeper chin intake, cockpit walls, oil cooler intake, new vertical stabilizer, rudder, and prop.
The Erla canopy, supplied in other Bf 109 kits, gets used here too. And masks make painting easy.
The rest of the kit is Eduard's top-notch Messerschmitt with detailed cockpit, fine surface detail, and posable control surfaces. You can see our detailed review of the Eduard Bf 109 sprues from a May 2016 episode at the link below.
There are slight updates to the color PE fret and a new set of larger exhaust covers.
Decals and terrific color diagrams show markings for 5 G10s, almost all from spring 1945. Plenty of colorful options to choose from here.
That looks like another great kit in what is arguably the best line of 148 scale Bf 109s on the market.
Look for a review of the SU-100 in an upcoming issue of Fine Scale Modeler magazine.
Yeah, and you can see more new products in the October issue on sale now.
As well as on our website, finescale.com.
Hey, and while you're there, check out the new products we have on sale in the Combat Hobby Store, including, and I'm happy to report, we carry the Tamiya tape now in all 3 sizes.
Thanks for watching. I'm Elizabeth Nash.
And I'm Aaron's, because if you see changes reflected in the new, we segue into B-roll with your line.
Segue.
It was intelligently written.